New Thought Media Network. We are a global broadcast network of positive music, media, and entertainment, inspiring humanity's evolution along the journey of enlightenment and creating a world of love, peace, empowerment, and prosperity for all. New Thought Media Network. Positively inspiring.
New Thought Media Network proudly presents On Purpose with Reverend Beth Linguri. Wednesdays at 7 a.m. Mountain Time, 3 p.m. Central European Time. Come find purpose, nurture growth, and live your passion. And now On Purpose with Reverend Beth Linguri.
Hello, everyone, and welcome. I'm Beth Linguri, and this is On Purpose. This is a weekly broadcast devoted to supporting you on your journey to live your life on purpose. And I'm so grateful that you're here. Thank you for joining us and being with us on this broadcast. Because we are building a community to support each other as we each grow this connection with our essential self. And for those of you in Central European and African time zones, this Wednesday broadcast is repeated on Sunday morning. So I do invite you to share it with your friends and others. You never know who might benefit from this broadcast. So you might want to share it with your friends, and they could join in on Sunday morning at 10 o'clock. Central European time. So I invite you now, let's move into the sanctuary of this moment. Move into the sanctuary of this moment to become still. Become still and listen to the wisdom of your heart. Connect with your passion and follow it. So I invite you now to move into this time and space, surrender, let go of thinking and planning and judging and all of those other activities you were engaged in before this moment. And silence your doubts and any inner critics, skeptics, just let them be quiet for half an hour. And speak that intention to yourself. I intend to be here now, in this moment, with my whole self. I let go of what came before and what will come next. And I am here now. And as you focus on the breath and observe the breathing in and out, remember that the breath is this gift of life, a gift that we receive at each moment, freely given. And so I invite you to just feel gratitude, feel very grateful for this gift of breath in every moment, breathing into your body. And the body itself is the temple of the divine. The body is the temple of the divine. This divine expression, this essence, this soul of you is here now in this body. And nothing you have done or could do, any transgressions or any shame or disappointment or anything, cannot disturb that. So just let it go. Let it go from your mind. And take a deep breath and just let everything go. Anything that has come before, that has happened, or that you're facing, just allow it to release and let go. And as you do, become aware of the silence, the stillness. This inner being, this inner truth. And pause and listen. Listen to these words and say them to yourself as yours. I am whole and perfect in that divine place within. Everything I need to know is there inside. Nothing I have ever done or that has ever been done to me can change this fact, can change this truth. And so I now relax and let go. And I surrender to that power within, which is all, knows all, and can do all, and will do all. I release, let go, and surrender. And as we maintain that stillness, I invite you to listen to the words of Ernest Holmes in the 11th chapter of this thing called You. And these are 5 of the statements that I find in this chapter. Listen, they're affirmations. So listen and maybe even say them to yourself as you listen. I now accept all that I have hoped for, and I believe it. Nothing in me can doubt that the good I seek will appear in my experience. There is nothing in me that can dissipate or lessen my faith. And I see in everyone that which I know to be true about myself. Therefore, everyone I think of is blessed by my thoughts. This principle of your being never limits you. Limitation is only a result of that limited use of the principle. Does that make sense? Actually, you don't limit it, but you rather limit the flow into your experience. You limit the flow of this perfection, of this energy, of this power that resides within you by simply not acknowledging it, not allowing it to express, not searching it and inviting it to come into your life. So it is only by our choices that we limit this flow of the principle of life into our experience. Words are molds into which creative substance of your consciousness flows. Your words are molds. So imagine that you create a mold and you pour something into it. You are creating something that you want to have. You want to create a mold for a vase or some kind of decoration for your home. So you create the mold, you pour the substance into it, you take the mold away, and you have what you're looking for. Well, words that you speak are the molds that you use to create your life. Maybe think about that for a moment. Just let it sink in. The words are the molds into which the creative substance of your consciousness creates your reality, creates your life. And he goes on to say that the words without meaning don't have as much effect as the words with meaning. So we need to have the words with meaning. We really mean the words, not just say them, but feel them and feel the activity of spirit within you. Now, this does call for a complete conviction that all the power of the universe is right where you are. All the power of the universe. And so this is the conviction that we enter each day, that life is speaking through you, and the law of life is obeying your will. He uses an example of the car, driving your car. When you drive your car forward or you drive your car backwards in reverse, you use the same energy, the same power. So it's sort of like this. The energy is there. We can use it to create what we don't want, or we can create what we do want. It's just a matter of words, choosing the right words, or turning it on. I think of the water faucet. If you walk up to the water faucet and you look at it and you say, "Oh, faucet, I'd like some water, please," and nothing happens. Water doesn't flow unless you open the faucet. You have to do something. You have to have an action, participate. You have free will to not open the water or to turn the faucet. The water flows. So you do not lack power, presence. You do not lack that. You have the power and the presence inside of you to do anything. What you may need is your consciousness of this inner awareness, this spiritual power. Your life's new focus from now on is knowing that spirit lives at the center of your being. Remember who you are. Spirit lives at the center of your being. Remember your truth, your true nature. Spirit lives at the center of my being. This might be an affirmation that you could say every morning when you wake up, look out the window. Thank you for this world. Thank you for this beauty. Thank you for this day. Spirit lives at the center of my being. I know from experience, and I hear from others that we feel often a powerlessness and out of control, and events crashing in, and even if we focus on outside on the news, we feel like everything is falling apart. And when we focus on what's happening around us, outside of us, that chaos, and that becomes the creative mode. That becomes our experience. We actually experience chaos, a feeling of overwhelm, or a feeling of not in control, or not having enough, or not having the right things. I invite you in this moment, right now, to know that there is a power for good in the universe, and you can use it. This was very often spoken by Wayne Dyer, who lived this teaching so beautifully and taught it in a magnificent way. There is a power within you, and you can use it only as you develop the consciousness of its presence, only as you are aware of this power and you allow it to flow into your life, that it can create the life of happiness that you seek. So I invite you now to reawaken your whole being to spiritual awareness, perfection, and the power of your word, the power of your word. This desire, there is a desire within each one of us to be something, to do something. And this is a mental echo of your divine mind. It's an urge, a yearning, and it is your gift seeking to express through you. It is your passion and your purpose. Recently, I was reading this book that I talked about last time, this idea of life as a crescendo is constantly expanding, by Stephen Covey. And he quotes Richard Leider, the author of The Power of Purpose, and who writes, "Purpose is fundamental. Purpose is fundamental. It's not a luxury. It's essential for our health, for our happiness, and our healing, and our longevity. Every human being wants to make a difference in one way or another." That is the urge, the purpose inside of you. And each day we wake up is a new opportunity to expand that purpose, to express that purpose, and create the good life that we seek. It is not the good life that we seek, it's the purpose, and that creates the good life. Just sometimes we have things a little backwards. You may remember I quoted Picasso in one of my talks. The meaning of life is to find your gift. The purpose of life is to give it away. So discovering our gifts and our talents, developing and expanding them, and applying them to benefit others. To benefit others is essential to this life, to creating this life of fulfillment, of joy, of peace. And each one of us has a unique mission that is needed in this world. And it involves serving other people. It is the most meaningful thing we can do, is to serve. And Stephen Covey says in that chapter, he talks about this idea of purpose. And he said, I've always believed that we don't invent our purpose, we detect them. So we become detectives and we observe, we become self-aware. I think this best describes it. This self-awareness is what allows us to uncover this purpose. At one point in my life, when I was in a difficult situation, I didn't really know how to cope. Just moved to a new country, didn't speak the language, and was very alone, away from family, with a small child. And I felt helpless, really. And I happened to have someone invited me to share their library. And they had some English books, which was a delight to me because I didn't read German. And I read this book by Viktor Frankl. He suffered in the Nazi concentration camps and was able to survive through his power of thought, through this power of accessing the power of thought. And then what he said was, rather than asking ourselves, what is it I want from life? We should instead ask, what does life want from me? Perhaps that's helpful in helping you to focus in your project of self-awareness. What does life want from me? Rather than what I want from life. It's just changing the focus. And it does open us up to discover our mission. Only when we discover our mission in life will we experience the peace that comes from fulfilling our purpose, which is the true fruit of true happiness. Bring your mission to the forefront. Carry it out. All the power to do so rests within you. You only need to call it forth. You only need to ask. And as you reawaken to this truth of your being, you may ask, or you may think, I'm not worthy to do this. I'm not a qualified representative. I don't have worth or value. Yes, those messages that have come through to us and then we have interpreted them as lack of worth, lack of value, are untrue. I've just been following David Alt on his website recently, and he writes in one of his blogs this beautiful statement, and I'm going to share it with you because I think it says beautifully what I'm talking about here today. He writes, I am already a vehicle for creation to have its way with me. All humanity is infinite intelligence or God, made visible to display the intelligence of God, of the divine through us. It's not us we're expressing, it's the divine within us that longs to express, and the only way that it can express is through each one of us. So all humanity is God, or infinite intelligence, made visible to display its intelligence through us. I relax, and relaxing allows my trust muscles to open and receive what I need exactly as I need it. When I remember and when I apply this, I feel better. And life becomes less burdensome, and my soul feels rejuvenated. I want this life for you, for all of us. And so we move now into our centering practice. As you know, a centering practice, or some kind of centering in, or some kind of moving into a quiet place within, is the way we access this purpose, this passion, the way as we become detectives, the way we uncover it. And your intellect senses through your intuition and then through your imagination, feels it and can create it. And this consciousness, your inward consciousness, grows and becomes the mold and fills the mold with exactly what it is that serves you and serves others. So let's have this intention now to live more entirely from our inner knowing. More entirely from our inner knowing. And when you do so, you bring your heart and brain into coherence. And this heart-brain coherence is what science is discovering is actually allowing you to raise your consciousness. So we want to keep that heart and that brain in coherence. And then you consult your intuition. And as you go into centering, it's important to find time to be alone and go within to the sacred center of your being. To visualize it, to feel it, and to be there. And what I love to do is to create a space in my imagination, a space that feels calm and beautiful to me. And so you may choose to do that. Choose a space where you feel good. And so you can generate these feelings to support your intention. Visualize it, feel it. See colors, see spaces, see people. Visualize in your mind's eye that beautiful, calm space that you are happy in. And then ask those visioning questions. Ask the questions, what is the highest idea for my life? What is being revealed to me? And observe. This process of self-awareness does encourage us to listen and observe what is coming forth. And what do I need to release? And what do I need to embrace? Take on? Is there anything else? And then if you have time during this time, you may want to jot down some notes, record your insights into a journal. Keeping a journal is a wonderful process for self-awareness. I often find that if I have done this practice earlier in the day, as I ready myself to go to sleep in the evening, and as I have my quiet time and a cup of tea before I go to sleep, all kinds of things come to my mind. All kinds of ideas come forth. And this process of self-awareness becomes so easy and pleasurable. And then I record them in a journal. So that may be something that you would enjoy doing as well. So whatever it is, as you move towards giving your gift, think about this idea that life is a gift. We have received this gift of life and we share it. We give it. And all that we need to give is within us. It has been given to us. And so we open up, we relax, we surrender. It's not about trying too hard. It's not about willpower. It's more about surrender. It's more about opening and relaxing and allowing. And so the breath is such an important factor as we go into centering practice. Encourage yourself to take the breath as we do at the beginning of our program each week. Focus on the breath. Allow the breath to relax you. Release, surrender, and move into your centering practice. Move beyond your thoughts and all that's going on around you. It'll all be there. It'll always stay there. But move away from that into that place within where everything is revealed. Then you'll move towards living your gift and aligning your life with your passion and becoming truly alive. And so I close today with a poem by one of my favorite poets, probably know of, is David Whyte. And David Whyte has written this poem. It's from his book, Still Possible. Still Possible. And the name of the poem is The Edge You Carry With You. So listen, I will repeat some of the phrases so that you can listen a little bit more deeply. Listen to this poem. What is this beguiling reluctance to be happy? What is this beguiling reluctance to be happy? This quickness in turning away the moment you might arrive. The felt sense that a moment's unguarded joy might, after all, just kill you. You know very well the edge of darkness. You have always carried it with you. You know very well your childhood legacy, that particular inherited sense of hurt, given to you so freely by the world you entered. And you know too well by now the body's hesitation at the invitation to undo everything others seem to want to make you learn. And you know too well by now the body's hesitation at the invitation to undo everything that others seem to want to make you learn. But your edge of darkness has always made its own definition secretly as an edge of light. And the door you closed might, by its very nature, just waiting to be leaned against, and opened. It just might be its very nature, just waiting to be leant against and opened. And happiness might be just a single step away, on the other side of that next unhelpful and underserving thought. And happiness might be just a single step away on the other side of that next unhelpful and undeserving thought. Your way home understood now, not as an achievement, but as a giving up. Not as an achievement, but as a giving up. A blessed undoing, an arrival in the body, and a full rest and take of the breath. Your way home understood now, not as an achievement, but as a giving up, a blessed undoing, an arrival in the body, and a full rest and take of the breath. This living, breathing body always waiting to greet you. Always waiting to greet you at the door. Always. No matter the long years you've been away. Still waiting you to come home. David Whyte from Still Possible. I honor the divine, the infinite, the possible within each one of you. Go in peace. Namaste.
Thanks for watching. Join us again next Wednesday for more of On Purpose with Reverend Beth Linguri, only on New Thought Media Network. Learn more at www.ntmedia.org.